Hello Mr. Dono and friends, my name is Brian from 12 Science 3. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to make caramel sauce. When you let caramel chill, this clear solution turns into a rock-hard plate and it is obviously difficult to consume. That's why in order to make caramel sauce, we use more liquid to create spready consistency and fats to fuse richer taste. Caramel sauce basically consists of 4 ingredients. They are sugar, water, butter, and cream. For your information, I choose the recipe by Prepper Kitchen since it is complete and foolproof. This time, I'm making only half of the written measurement since we rarely consume caramel sauce. However, we've got a trouble. There's one ingredient which is pretty hard to be found nearby. Would you take a guess? Yes, it is heavy cream. Earlier, I had got an idea to purchase for it online, but the price is surprisingly beyond my expectation. I mean, who would spend 50k just for a jar of caramel? After several analyses, I decided to make a substitute instead. It is a lot easier and presses the nominal down to 25%. Without waiting any longer, let's begin. To make the substitute, here we have 160 milliliters of milk, 75 grams of salted margarine, and half tablespoon of granulated sugar. This makes 240 milliliters of heavy cream, but we'll only use half of it later. If you've got the true cream in your hand, kindly go on to the next step. First, prepare any pans you have. Put the margarine in and turn on the fire on medium-low heat. While heating, break the chunks down so the margarine melts quicker. After eyeballing around halfway of the melting process, immediately turn off the flame and keep stirring until the margarine is completely liquid. This is a sample of melted margarine which I fairly like, especially for baking. They are yellow, opaque, and definitely still flavorful. However, I just found out that this consistency isn't fully liquefied yet, and it makes the cream not emulsified well. Please melt them until they are transparent, so the bind in the emulsion is stronger. Then, while still warm, pour in the sugar to balance the saltiness. We want them to copycat the slightly sweet lactose. Next, set the blender, pour the milk and margarine sugar mixture. Pulse this on low for around 20 seconds and then turn it off. After this step, give it a little stir to dissolve the foams. Make sure you do this especially before freezing or chilling your cream. If not, these foams are going to split your cream since they are actually fats which rise over the water content. Moving on to the second step, we are now going to make the real caramel sauce. Here are the required ingredients: 150 grams of granulated sugar, 30 milliliters of water, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, which you can alternate with vinegar as well, 120 milliliters of heavy cream substitute, 35 grams of margarine, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and last but not least, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla powder, which is optional. All of these should be in room temperature. A tip I got while making caramel sauce is to be a deadliner. You must be totally effortless at the beginning, but you'll need to rush at the end. First, prepare a heavy bottom pan with thick sides. This is crucial in order to create an even browning and not letting a part done earlier than the other. Into the pan, pour in the sugar, water, and lemon juice. Turn on the stove on medium-low heat. Wait patiently until you no longer see any granules. For now, don't give too much work. After that, rise the heat to medium-high and wait again until it starts to boil. While waiting, you might see some sugar crystals at the side of the pan due to the quicker evaporation. To avoid these as the final result, brush them off with some water. Plus, if you see some regions are getting darker compared to the other, give the pan some shakes, but don't stir it. When you see these bubbles, pay attention to the color. We want it to be amber-like brown, so better stop sooner than later because we're going to heat them again anyways. After that, turn off the heat and rest it for 15 seconds. While waiting, here is the color of my sugar solution. To me, this is a little more better than the first one I made months ago, so make sure you catch a lighter shade. Alright, now it's time to pour in the rest of the ingredients, starting with the cream. So here is when my mistake started. I didn't realize that my cream had separated until then. This is why I reminded you in advance to discard the bubbles before keeping them in the fridge, or if you have sufficient time, make the caramel on the same day. Also, I had to stop for a moment to capture the color for you, but if you are recreating this, don't let them rest for too long or the solution will slowly cook by itself. Now let's get back to our progress. Before I continue this video, I would give you an alert that the next step might be the riskiest one. Plenty of steam is about to form since the cream stops the cooking of the sugar. In this footage, it is not as tragic as the references you could find in YouTube where the extremely hot sugar droplets jump out of the pan and potentially contact with your skin. So, be careful. While the fight's going on, stir them vigorously until the temperature drops and bubbles disappear. By the time you've done this step, I guarantee that your kitchen smells like the cinema. Next, put the margarine in, relax and take your time until they are completely melted. Then, bring them on heat for 2 to 3 minutes and stir to make sure that all substances bind each other and the caramel gets smooth. When bubbles form, turn the heat off. Pour the salt and vanilla powder into it and mix them well. Finally, we are done! After 30 to 40 minutes, the caramel sauce should have been safe to touch. The consistency is expected to be thick like this. Move this to a container and chill it up to 2 weeks for the best flavor. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and have a great day.